Mr. Said,
Yeah.
we have a Dar es Salaam derby called Yanga and Smba. So, what can you express Yanga and Smba in your as a journalist?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest derbies in Tanzania and also in East Africa, because we don't have this kind of stadium, a very good standard 60,000 pack stadium in East Africa. We don't have it in so many countries. So 60,000 spectators in a stadium and having Yanga and Smba playing, it's a very, very nice derby game. It's obvious that small teams will compete with the biggest teams in a die-hard kind of situation, and it's obvious. Even in Ethiopia, Kofi and St. George derby is the biggest derby of the country, and any team who is playing against Kofi and any team who is playing against St. George, they will give you hard time when they play against you, and this is the sign of being great. When you play the biggest team, you want to show that you are one of the biggest teams, and I see it like that. When I go on the road of Dar es Salaam, people talk whether they are Smba or Yanga. They asked us when they knew we are from Ethiopia, they asked us to beat Yanga if they are Smba fans, and some people say you'll be given 4, 5. They give them in their fingers. They give us how many goals we should be considering on that game, and this happens in football. When you go to Ghana, the Ashanti Kotoko and Hearts of Oak derby, in all the countries, there are biggest rivalries between great teams. So one of that is the sign of these things, and we can say Yanga and Smba is one of the biggest derbies in East Africa.
Okay, thank you. Here in Tanzania, if the bottom team play with Smba or Yanga, they are playing hard. But if they play with a normal team, they are playing a normal football. How about Ethiopia?
It's the same thing. The same history goes on. The team who is going to be relegated, the team who is on the 16th level, when this team plays against St. George or Ethiopian Coffee, they'll give them very hard time, because that's the time when so many people watch them, because that's the time when all the football loving fans see that small team, so they want to give up their best at their game, and this happens in the world of football. We can see it in the Spanish La Liga, we can see it in the English Premier League, in Italian Serie A, and in German Bundesliga. So this is the real meaning of football, not giving up with any competitor you do have.
Okay. Anything you can tell about Ethiopian football?
Yeah, I have some point to say about Ethiopian football. Believe me, we are in East Africa. But don't forget, we do have the most technical players in Africa. I'm saying it again. I've been working 10 years in this football area. I've been in so many countries in Africa, in Europe, in North America, and in Asia also. I never saw players gifted, skillful, naturally very talented players more than Ethiopians. Ethiopians do have very good talents. And one day, I'm sure Ethiopia will be one of the powerhouse of football talent in Africa. And I see so many great teams in AFCON, in South Africa I have seen, in so many countries I have seen the strongest teams in Africa. But comparing them in regards of talent, Ethiopia is the most skillful natural talent ever seen in Africa. And this is what I witness about Ethiopian football.
Okay. What is your take in all Africa football? As you said that you have worked with many countries, including Tanzania and South Africa and New Orleans. So what is your take? What is your explanation about football in Africa?
Yeah.
in general?
The football in Africa, it had been so many years since we are being told that football in Africa could get progress through youth level projects, through academies, through football college, something like that. But when I watch, when I study, when I witness African football, I didn't get this is true. For example, take the case of South Africa. South Africa do have very fantastic infrastructures of football. They do have the young academies in all over South Africa, but they don't have a strong national team. See the likes of Tunisia, Morocco, Egypt. They do have everything what football is being told to have, but their football is nowhere out of Africa. Even they qualify to World Cups, they are not going to beat the opponents in the group stage. So I believe Africa should wake up from deep sleep. Africans should know that. African teams should know that it's not all football is not all about the youth leagues. Football is not about the academies, but football is all about the playing style you do have. Football is 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes play, and you should know. You should really study what you want to implement in the field. You should give clear and justifiable solutions for your problems in the field, not outside the field. So Africa should wake up from the deep sleep it's on.